Hey everybody, welcome back for another random battle video. So like it says, so there I was, grinding away for my Falcon, and suddenly, this happened. And I don't mean me shooting the fence or anything, I mean the whole battle. So we've got an Axis versus Allies matchup here. You can see Americans and Russians, and there are also Brits, of course, which is what I am, against German and Japanese tanks on the other team. They're already into C. Our team is just about at A. Pretty standard for an Eastern Europe map. And you can see, if you are a follower of Many Miles Away on YouTube, you should see some familiar names here on the team list. One of the admins for his Discord server is on my team, DMS110, and Iron Physic is another frequent member of Miles' YouTube channel, or Miles' Discord. Spot this Tiger 2 moving up on the hill, very distinct silhouette, and get thankfully, a good damaging fire started on him. And I'm able to move behind some cover here in my good old Conway while I reload. He gets some dirt thrown up in front of him by a convenient friendly shot. And then I get a second one just under the chin armor there, and or the turret chin, and blow him to oblivion. That's a pretty good start. Kill number 1 pretty early on. Our team was taking B and then was destroyed off of B, so I'm going to move up there and see what I can do to help. Thought I saw an enemy there, turned out to be some wrecked building. Now there's obviously somebody just on the other side of this building here, and then there are enemies moving up on either side of me. Now, unfortunately, there are quite a few enemies coming up on the far side here, including a Type 61 from Japan, and I'm taking hits from every direction right now. And it turns out that Iron Physic was the one who destroyed me. I was going to come in my Hellcat Mark I and then decided this is a very linear map. There's going to be a pretty static front line. And why not come in the Lancaster and see if I can actually do a little bit of damage in the Lancaster, because I should be able to drop bombs that'll fall beyond my friendly forces and into the front or back middle lines of the enemy. The Lancaster is quite a pain in the butt to control with mouse and keyboard, by the way. And if you watched my video from last week with my 10-kill US 7.7 lineup, you'll see me mention the low quality of the graphics in both the bomb bay view and the cockpit views for bombers right now, which I think might be for everything, but it certainly is for bombers. And you'll see coming up here when I switch over to the bomb bay view what I'm talking about. Notice the graphics right now are pretty good, pretty clear, relatively sharp as far as War Thunder goes. And when I bring up the bomb bay view here, everything is kind of low quality, or like, I don't know, rendered differently. Anyway, I drop a pair of 4,000-pound bombs down the middle of the row there, and get pretty good effects there with 2 of them. Unfortunately, took quite a bit of damage, which made my Lancaster go into a somewhat uncontrolled climb, which made me a pretty large, juicy, tasty target for a Me-410 B6R3. So this is not going to be a controllable aircraft, and it's not really any good with its gunners as a gunship anyway, so we're going to bail out. And what I meant here about Physic was, it was only fair that I killed him because he killed me in the first place. And now, it's Carnarvon time. Not a bad start to get myself to the Carnarvon. Now, the Carnarvon's still an acceptable heavy tank in my lineup, at this lineup, but I do still I'm not really a giant fan of its engine power or its acceleration, although when you don't notice that you hit your cruise control only a couple times and only were in gear 2 instead of maximum gear, it doesn't really help either. So as I'm returning to the battle in my Carnarvon here, take a quick scan of the front, don't see anything, and there's some moving bushes with a couple of 30mm guns pointed out of them. Get a pretty good shot on them, and then from somewhere, a Jagdtiger appears, and I'll say this for the Carnarvon. It just tanked a 128mm shell from a Jagdtiger without even blinking, so it's got that going for it. I'm not sure where he hit me. It must have been some kind of an angle, because that should have done some kind of damage, but apparently it just bounced right off. And as I move behind this building to repair and reload, I see a Jagdpanther rather, just sitting there, who takes a kill shot from the T-54 right after I put a damaging shot into him, so there's a good assist. Now I'm waiting for the Jagdtiger to reappear so I can put a shot into him and decide I better go deal with the Kugelblitz as well as move out of the way of the bombs that are falling. And I get a second assist on the Kugelblitz, but points are points. I'll take them. So I was moving up to assist with B here, but it turns out that our team took it while I was dealing with the 3 guys over here, and in fact have it fairly well defended and held with a T-54 sitting in the point there, even though he is being shot at. So instead of moving over to B, I'm going to deal with this Jagdtiger before he's able to get loose in our rear area. And now we find out the results of the race between the slow forward-moving Carnarvon and the reversing Jagdtiger. It turns out that the forward-moving Carnarvon is just barely faster than the reversing Jagdtiger. Quick check behind me, and then I start taking some hits from what I thought was going to have to be... Well, I didn't really know what it was. Turns out it's a Japanese M42. But I'm able to get a kill shot in on the Jagdtiger, and then I take a kill shot myself from a Panzer IV F2. The M42 got knocked out in the meantime. Now here's a little tip and a trick for you guys out there. When you're in the respawn screen, the map stays in the same place as the map in the regular battle. So if you know where an enemy is, you can line up your cursor in this view, and then once you respawn, just hit M and left click real quick, and you'll immediately spot that spot on the map position. Or mark that position on the map, rather. So that's what I just did there. And we've got a light tank real close to that Panzer IV F2, so I marked him a couple times just to make sure they were aware. He's taking hits, and they're going to dispatch him in just a second. And that's one of the funnier things I've seen in War Thunder lately. It wasn't a wasted trip, because the B-7A2 did actually kill somebody. But that was one heck of a downward dive. And there's the Panzer IV F2 getting knocked out by the friendly T-92. I missed him getting knocked out initially during the battle because I was distracted by the B-7A2 going nearly straight down into the ground there. Pretty entertaining, though. But that's why I came around this corner looking over here for the Panzer IV F2 and just making sure he wasn't still hiding here somewhere. But he was knocked out and gone. Now coming up here is something else that's a little pet peeve of mine in War Thunder. Right there. I just took a hit, but there was no indication whatsoever except for the tinnitus sound of the ringing ears. That's it. No hit indication on the screen, no explosion, no sound, no anything. No sound of a gunshot, no sound of an impact, just the ringing noise, and suddenly one of my guys is knocked out. That's all. Wherever it shot me from and whatever it was, it didn't get another good shot on me. I assume it's a Tiger II that you're going to see in a moment, but I don't know. Now we come around the corner here and find a Jagdtiger, put a shot into him and knock out 3 crew members, and then see this King Tiger up on the hill here, and decide I'm going to eliminate him because if the he can actually turn his gun and point it at us, so I'm going to take that out of play. But if the Jagdtiger starts turning, we can hit the gas and fly forward here, especially the T-92, and pretty much get out of the way. Finish off the Jagdtiger. and then turn my attention back over to the Tiger 2 and finish him as well. And that's up to 8 kills now for the battle. Now, I don't really like getting too close to the enemy spawn, particularly on a linear map like this, so I'm going to take the capture point here. Especially, I feel personally that if you're going to go into somebody's spawn, you should at least hold all the points first. And somehow I just tanked another 128 mil shot from a Stir or Emil there, but I don't think it actually hit me. At any rate, I wasn't sure what it was. I know now it was a Stir or Emil, but I didn't know during the battle. I thought maybe it was a Yag Tiger, so I'm getting the heck out of danger and trying to get into a position where I can return some fire here, including taking some fence down so that I've got a clear shot at whatever it is that drives out. Also, I'm going to move over into some cover here and hold the C point. Now right here is about as close as I'm willing to get to the enemy spawn. So I'm watching for any enemies across the river and kind of waiting for anything to come and try to take C back. And I see something moving over there off to the left, and sure enough, it's a Yag Panther. I'm not sure if he would have seen me or not. He's probably focused on something else, but as I come around the corner, there's a Kugelblitz who is actively engaged in shooting at our team, so I have no compunction about shooting him, even though he's just outside their spawn, because he is shooting at our airplanes. And then move up around the corner here and wait to ambush the Yag Panther. Don't see him, not sure if maybe he's already blown past. So as I'm waiting, he comes into view, and my tank gun gets messed up by the fence here. And I shoot past him. I should have just not shot at all. And while I wait here to reload, he's already used the Yag Panther's relatively good speed and screamed right on past. And I get a kill damage assist on him from somebody, although I'm not sure I hit him. Apparently when I shot through the fence, I must have hit him somehow, although I had no indicator on it. I moved back into C, which he had decapped as he drove through, because I'll certainly take another capture. You want to give me some free capture points, boy, I'll take them. Especially when I'm grinding research on some non-spaded tanks. And I'm going to capture it before the tickets bleed out for another capture. Some more points. Acceptable results in the battle. I've got 9 kills. Quite a good fight. Pretty darn good score. One of my higher scores lately in a tank battle. And as I move forward, well, I'm not going to not shoot the guy. So knock out a Stir or Emil for my 10th kill in the battle, and what will end up being the final kill of the fight. As the tickets bleed out, and we win. 10 kills, 2 caps, 3 assists, 3 deaths, and a almost 5,000 score. Not too bad for a little bit of British tank grinding. And it pays pretty well with a premium account, too. Handful of rewards. And here's the final scores. Not too bad, I think. There's all the kills, which took up 2 screen caps, as well as the awards taking up 2 screen caps again. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I like bringing shorter videos along every so often, as opposed to the hour plus, 45 minute plus long first 10s. If you guys like this one, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and a comment down below. Check out the description for my social media links, and hope you guys enjoyed this one, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for stopping by and checking this one out.